Welcome to the latest episode of Say What podcast. Filling in for Laura, I'm Stuart Perkle. Here with me today is Cullen Gillaspia, a former Texas A&M standout, current Houston Texans fullback. Cullen, thanks for coming in. Appreciate the time.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to be here. Let's get into it.
So, Cullen, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, a little bit maybe about your Texas A&M experience, and maybe about what your life has been like as a rookie and moving into your second year as a Texan.
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in Katy, Texas. So we're shooting in Houston today. So I'm in the home city. I went to Taylor High School. Then from there, I moved on to Texas A&M and was awarded the 12th man. So I got to have a pretty cool experience.
It's a big deal.
Pretty kind of a big deal at A&M. Got to really experience one of the greatest traditions in college football, which is the 12th man. It's not necessarily. Yeah, I was number 12 and I got to be that player, but it's not really about me. It's about the student body. So that was definitely an honor and definitely a privilege. And then last year, drafted in the 7th round by the Texans, hometown team, and just kind of going from there. Rookie year was great. It's covered a big time frame there, but that's kind of the overview of how it went. I couldn't be more excited to have finished the rookie year, and the season didn't quite end how we hoped, but moving on, it's a new year, it's a new me, and I'm excited to get started again.
But what did you want to do before football, before you even ever, picked up a football? What did baby Cullen want to do?
Baby Cullen wanted to be a football player.
Okay.
But grown up Cullen didn't want to be a football player. We have a ongoing joke in my family, and it was the day I got drafted, I kind of threw it in my mom's face because it was, I was 6 years old or 7 years old, at home, first, second grade, trying to do homework, and I hated homework. I was a good student, but I hated homework, and my mom would be like, football's not going to last forever. You're not going to be in the NFL. I go, Mom, I'm going to be an NFL running back, which I'm not really an NFL running back, but it's kind of a similar thing. I'm a blocking running back. And so I was like, I don't want to do my homework. She's like, no, you're not fast enough. You're not big enough. It's not happening. I'm like, because she's a teacher, so she's all about the education. So the day I got drafted, I actually threw that in her face, and she goes, yep, I got to eat that one.
You were right, Colin.
I said, yeah, you do. Shouldn't have done that homework. No, I'm just kidding. But I would say in high school, I didn't really get too many scholarship offers, so I'd kind of thrown football to the wind, was going to, finish out my senior year playing baseball, and then basically go to school and join a fraternity and have fun. And
you did a couple of those things, right?
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did join a fraternity. I did have some fun. I did play college football, so I had a pretty jam-packed college life. But I said I majored in environmental geosciences in college, so I specialized in human impact in the environment. So I always wanted to be a football player. By my senior year of high school, I was like, well, maybe I'll go work for an oil company someday. It is Houston, Texas, so that's the industry you want to be in. So that was kind of the plan, and then it just turned into something else.
So, Colin, you were saying you studied environmental
geosciences.
Okay, that sounds a lot. That's technical. I don't know what that means. The reason why I wanted to ask, a lot of people can't handle being a college athlete. A lot of people can't handle being in a fraternity. A lot of people, I assume, can't handle the coursework that you were involved with. So how did you juggle all three?
Wing it. No. Well, you get used to living a regimented life. Like when you're a college athlete, you have workouts in the morning, you have class from 8 to 2, and then you're in meetings from 2 to 4, practice from 4 to 6 or 7, and then you have your 3 hours at home. You got to go home, get your rest, and go to bed. So you kind of figure out how to spend that time. If you're already going to be on campus, you might as well go get your homework done in the library. And if you want to have a social life while you're doing that, which I had a social life, very, very fun social life. You just got to kind of learn to balance it. I'm not going to say I was the biggest study guy. I mean, I studied. Don't get me wrong. I studied very hard.
He has the Aggie ring to prove it. He graduated.
Yeah, no, it's currently not on because I'll lose it if I wear it every day because football, I got to take it off all the time, but I digress. But I did graduate. I went to grad school too. But you just kind of have to find out what works for you. And what worked for me was waking up at about 1 a.m. the night before a test and studying for about 8 straight hours, then going in and going and winging it. And you know what? I graduated with above a 3.0 GPA. I was a college athlete in a fraternity, so it's good enough for me.
It worked for you.
It worked for me. You just got to find what works for you.
I've noticed in my own experience, the more busy I was and the more structured I was, the more successful I was. Because, again, I had to maximize my time. And it seems you agree with that now. How is that translated into your life as a professional athlete?
In a little bit of what you wouldn't expect. Your life isn't as structured as a professional athlete as it is a college athlete. Your hours in the NFL are just like a normal job. You know, you wake up in the morning, you go to work, and then at 5 o'clock you're out and you turn it off. I would say the part that has changed for me is the off the field. Because the season is so much longer, because it's so much more competitive, and because this is my profession now, I have to lock it in more off the field. Off the field, I have to, in college, I didn't focus much on my nutrition. I wasn't worried about sleep. I didn't study my playbook as much, so I didn't have as much of a playbook to study or be a responsibility. I kind of just did my thing, and it ended up working out. Now, as a professional, it's off the field that you kind of have to worry about. You're busy all day in college. All day, every day, you're busy, you're going. You actually have more downtime in the NFL, in my opinion. But it's kind of what you do with that downtime. And in college, it was like, oh, I got downtime, I'm going out. Like, all the time.
Just make sure that's social.
Correct. I was doing everything. I was all over the place. Now I'm like, okay, I got a big practice tomorrow. I'm going to, after practice, I'm going to stay a little bit after. I'm going to get some work on my legs, and then I'm going to go home. I'm going to eat a healthy dinner, and I'm going to go to bed. It's not, getting out of practice as soon as possible, going to pick up Whataburger, and then going out and getting ready for workouts the next morning. You kind of have to, if you want to be the best and you want to play at the highest level possible and you want to compete with, the guys that are doing those things, you kind of have to pick up on that yourself. So I've just focused more on off the field stuff.
So you got to A&M, you decided to walk on, correct?
Yep.
Were you still trying to play baseball? Had you given up on baseball and you were focused on football?
No, I never had any desire to play college baseball. Yeah, that was out of it. It was senior year was done. I was like, baseball, I love you, but peace. I'm done with you. Yeah. But football, I always loved football, but like I said, I'd given that up too. I was ready just to go be a student, and then I actually got a call to be a preferred walk-on, which is kind of like in between a true walk-on and in between a scholarship guy. Like, it's like the GAs, not the coaches, but the GAs know your name. The graduate assistants know your name. And you don't have to try out. You kind of just get thrown in with the scholarship guys. So I had that opportunity. I spent 2 years off scholarship on the scout team, and then my redshirt sophomore year, junior year, I got a scholarship and was also awarded the 12th man at the time, and then kind of carried those honors on for the next 3 years.
What was that moment like, Cullen, to get the scholarship, to become the 12th man? Two huge deals in a college athlete's life. So how did they both hit you in that same moment, correct? Or in the same time frame?
They both hit within about a week of each other. And the scholarship was completely blindsided. Like, I had no idea that was going to happen. Coach Sumlin was our coach at the time, and he had always kind of given a walk-on or two, in my case, 3 guys. He always honored guys who had been on the scout team, worked hard, and gave them scholarships. And so I kind of figured by the time I got to, this time, we knew that I was starting on every special teams. I was still a walk-on. I was probably going to be the 12th man. People had already kind of started calling me 12 and stuff like that. But I was walking into the field house with my buddy one day, and we kind of knew it was scholarship day. It was about that time, and I was like, yeah, just jokingly, like, gonna go get my scholarship today. And, he kind of hit me and, like, said some choice words to me. We were just messing with each other, like, joking around. And so the scholarship took me by complete surprise. We're in there, and he gives it to our punter, and then he gives it to one of my good buddies, our defensive lineman, and then he keeps on kind of talking, and I'm like, what?
Sounds like he saved the best for last.
Yeah, exactly. And he's kind of saving the best for last. And then out of nowhere, he just goes, and my man Gilly. And that's kind of where the name Gilly was born. People in the football facility called me Gilly, but none of my friends from high school, college, no one really knew that was my nickname at football.
I always wonder where that came from.
Yeah, and it had come from a younger coach, but Coach someone said it, and then that got picked up by ESPN and was aired nationally, and then I got and so that's kind of like the whole campus started calling me Gilly. And then about a week later, it was the night before the UCLA game, which is the first game I started in, number 12, and our special teams coach brought it out and gave it to me, and even though I knew that I was getting I was going to be wearing that number, that was probably my greatest accomplishment in college. I mean, it meant so much more than the scholarship, just because that is what I've been working for. I know my parents appreciate the scholarship. I appreciate the scholarship. A couple of bars at Northgate appreciated the scholarship, but really, personally, the getting the 12th man is really what meant the most to me.
Surreal moment for sure.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You said you transitioned from linebacker to fullback as a senior.
Yeah,
so
in my fifth year.
Last year, in your fifth
Correct.
year. What was that transition like? It seems like you played linebacker throughout high school too. So
yeah.
Well, how was that transition?
Well, Coach Fisher likes to yell, so he yelled at me a lot. Called me some names I'm not proud of.
I was gonna say it probably wasn't Gilly.
No, it wasn't Gilly. No, I love Coach Fisher. I have so much respect for that man and what he did for my career. But I always mess with him. Like, he just liked yelling at me. I think he just liked to mess with me, which is fine. You know, it's football field. Everything gets yelled at you goes in one ear, out the other. And I think that's what bothered him most, because he'd yell at me and he'd go in one ear and out the other, and I'd make the same mistake again. But I think he might have wished I would have listened a little bit more. But no, it was different. I was expected to be the starting fullback. I'd never played offense before. I didn't understand any of the concepts, so I pretty much had to just learn everything off. Yeah, exactly. I had to wing it, like I did the rest of college. I had to pretty much
classroom football for you.
Yeah, didn't really learn much, but memorized everything. And so that's kind of how I treated fullback. I memorized what I was supposed to do, and then as the year progressed, spring training, and then into the season, you know, you kind of start to get the feel for it, start to kind of figure out what's going on, and just kind of took it from there.
Walk us through what draft day was like, because I assume tons of friends and family around, tons of emotion, you know, expectations. You know, could get drafted, could not get drafted. There's always that risk of every college athlete who declares. So what was it like when you got that phone call?
Draft day was wild. Of course, I had to have a huge draft party. I had like 100 people there, but I knew that, you know, at this party, you know, we had a bunch of TVs set up, and I'm like, I know, I'd been to a couple of my teammates' draft parties before, and then I got drafted. I'm like, okay, everyone's going to be sitting there staring at me, because that's how it was. And I was one of those guys. I've been to a couple of draft parties, and you're sitting there and like, you know, this guy's going to get drafted, or what if he doesn't, or what if he starts falling in the draft? And so you're freaking out, and you don't want to sit there and like stare at them, but you can't help it, because in today's day and age, everyone's got to get the video. Yeah. And I actually had a documentary, like a short film made about, you know, my entire story, and so they were there
for an award, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's up for an award in July. It's called Gilly. Check it out on TexAgs. It's pretty good. But so I was mic'd up. There's cameras everywhere, and I knew my friends would be watching, so I was like, Mom, I don't want to deal with this. So I had my cousin went and bought like 100 pounds of crawfish. We had a crawfish boil. I was like, look, if I get drafted, it's going to be in like the 7th round. So I mean, everyone's going to get here in the 4th round, and I don't want people staring at me for the next 5 hours. So we had a crawfish boil. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, keep them busy. We'll hang around. And then once, you know, 6th, 7th round, once 6th round hit, I thought maybe there's a chance. That's when I kind of sat down in front of the TV, and then you just sit there on your phone. And I had my mom's phone as a backup, my phone on a charger, and I'm sitting there watching the TV in the backyard. And, you know, when I said I had 3 teams picked out, because I was pretty sure the Texans were going to call me too and kind of make me an offer to play for them. And the fact that they drafted me was, you know, if I had a choice between, you know, my top 3 teams, I would have chose the Texans probably. Awesome. So it worked out. It worked out well. It worked itself out. You know, everything kind of happens for a reason. So, yep.
So, Cullen, when you got to the NFL, whether it was, you know, that off season or right when games started, what was the one thing that really surprised you? Was it, you know, they always say the pace of the NFL is so different from college ball, but was it the talent? Was it the pace? Was it the lack of a busy schedule after hours?
It was the fact that it was actually a job. It wasn't football anymore per se. Like, this is my profession. This is what I'm choosing to do. This is how I'm going to make money. This is how I'm going to provide for my family that I don't have. If there's any single women listening, slide into the DMs. I'm here. I'm fielding all offers.
We'll put his ad underneath.
And you're in the highest profession of the most competitive profession in the entire world, with the best athletes in the entire world. So you go in with 90 guys, and you know that half these guys are going to lose their jobs. And it's not, you know, in college, if, you know, you're not starting, you're not playing, well, you're still on scholarship, you're still on the team, you're still going to go to school, you're still hanging out with your friends. The NFL, and you get cut, that's it. I mean, like another team could pick you up or anything could happen, but you go into every day knowing this could be my last day. This could be the end of, my career. This could be this could quite literally be the last time I put my cleats on. And that, when that day when cuts happen, you're seeing dudes that, have got a wife and 2 kids, and all of a sudden they have no job and they got to figure out what to do. So when you make a big play, not only are you, affecting yourself, your team, but you're also affecting their families, their checkbooks, everything. So it's definitely higher risk, but it's higher reward. But I think that's, in any situation, pressure makes diamonds, so.
Ooh, dropping some
put that on a t-shirt.
God, that
was bad. That was bad. I can't believe I just said that. But no, but it really is true. I mean, you definitely have to take it more seriously, and there's definitely, a sense of urgency when you get on the field that you're out there to work. This is work. I could be sitting behind a desk crunching numbers, or I could be running as fast as I can down a field and hitting someone with my head. Sure. So I choose the running fast and hitting people 10 times out of 10. And one day I'll probably have to crunch numbers, but that day is not today.
Until then, yeah.
Until then.
So, Cullen, what would you say is your favorite aspect of being an NFL player?
Getting to represent your hometown. I mean, playing football is awesome. And whenever you get in the mindset that it is a job and that you're going out there and that you sit in meetings all day, but you get to eat all day, you're hanging out with your friends, the relationships you've made, the opportunities that get put in front of you, and just everything that comes with being an NFL football player, outside of the football field is just incredible. I've experienced some things that I could
have dreamed of.
Yeah, I could have dreamed of. You had told me 5 years ago that this is what I'd be doing. I would have laughed in your face. Like, there's no way that's gonna be me. So that's been cool. And then just on the field, it's great. You're playing. I mean, I think everybody is competitive to some point. I think the people in the NFL are ultra competitive because they have risen above the rest to get there. So to get to, put your competitiveness and your athletic ability to the test against some of the best people at the top of their profession in the entire world. I mean, it's awesome. You get to go out there and, all right, let's see what I got. And you got to prove yourself every day. And I love that. I love football because I love competition, and I love lining up and saying, all right, it's me versus you. Who's going to win this battle? 1 versus 1. Let's go.
Cullen, you mentioned a moment ago, the Cullen 5 years ago would have never believed what today's Cullen is doing. I'm going to assume at the top of that list is having a conversation with me.
Yeah.
So we're just going to assume that's what you're referring to.
For sure.
But speaking of that conversation, Cullen, the reason you're here today, a couple months ago, you decided to partner with us at Energy Ogre.
Mm-hmm.
It seems our brands and our missions really kind of aligned with each other. What made you, whenever we first reached out, what made you interested as to what we do, and why do you find you're a good fit to work with us and to help educate and inform Texans that you don't have to overpay for electricity and you can reallocate some of that money to other aspects of your life? Again, what would that resonated to you?
Well, first of all, I mean, the people, like, you've been great. All the people that I've worked with have just been amazing. Since from day one, been super supportive. One thing I've always prided myself on is I like to help people. I was a team captain in college, and take that for what it is. I mean, you can be it for many different reasons, but I feel like one of the reasons my teammates voted me in is because I would take the time out to talk to the people who were struggling, talk to the people who needed to get back on track, who needed to, have a little guidance in their life. And I wouldn't say that's necessarily what Energy Ogre does, but in terms of they help you save money. And right. So it's, if you can get a couple extra $100 or a couple thousand extra dollars in your pocket a year, that leaves you more financial freedom to, if you're an adult, maybe spend more time with your kids, or if you're someone my age, buy yourself a new car, or put that down payment on a house, or if I can help, my friends and my family, and then the people of Houston, Dallas, the people of Texas, right. Put more money in their pocket. I mean, who doesn't want more money? And if I can be the one that helps them do that, it's great. I haven't talked to a single person that hasn't come up and been like, man, like, why'd you have me sign up for that? Every single person's been like, dude, I didn't realize how much I was overpaying. Yeah, my parents saved over like $1,000 this year. Hopefully they spend that money on me. Mom, Dad, I know you're going to listen to this. You still owe me that watch from graduation.
He deserves it.
Let's just reinvest that back into me, please. No, but like I said before, you talk to people who sign up and who had no idea that they had options, and see, it really make a difference and help people save money. It's been a pretty cool experience.
Now, one of those neat experiences, Cullen, that you and I have worked with, and an experience over that you've enjoyed with us has been you've been a star feature in the Queued Up episodes put on by the Houston Sports Authority with Patty Smith.
Yep.
You've had the pleasure of working with her, and then all these, Olympic, World Series, NFL, Super Bowl winning, quarterbacks and athletes. What has it been like for you to kind of meet some of these guys and talk to them about some of the charities that they worked with? I mean, Patty Smith herself is a Houston legend.
Yep.
What has that experience been like for you?
I never thought I'd talk to Carl Lewis, so I kind of got to have a conversation with him. Coach Mack Brown, Selvin Young,
George Foreman.
George Foreman, yeah, the champ. Why am I talking to these people? Like, what? It's wild to me that I just don't really see myself as a professional athlete. I kind of just see myself as, we'll not get into that, but just I just don't see myself for talking on the level with these people. So it's been super cool to, be able to talk to them, and every week Energy Ogre's been donating money, and so it's been cool to be able to give back to the foundation they've been starting in the communities, and especially with everything going on with the the coronavirus. I mean, it's been a cool time to, like I said, help people. That's why I'm here, and to further that mission and being able to give to so many charities and speak to these people about issues. It's been great.
Because I think it's been 10 charities, or the whole series, all the episodes are going to be 10, and that'll be 10 episodes or 10 charities we've been able to donate towards. So it's cool to see that money be put to good use and people in the community that actually need it.
For sure, it's been awesome.
Benefit. Now, Cole, let's kind of segue back to football, man. We have a couple questions to end on, but I want to finish with some football stuff and then some fun stuff for the end. So, Colin, what are your expectations for this upcoming season? It still seems the NFL hasn't come out and said, at least I haven't seen, that they're going to start this date, and the NBA and MLB are kind of making strides to kick things off. Where does the NFL stand? That's confidential information.
I wish I had confidential information to share, but I'm going to be honest, I learn just about as much from watching ESPN as the next guy. So I get Twitter notifications just like everyone else, and I honestly don't know. Right now the plan's to start, I report July 25th, and I'm planning on doing that, and training camp will start up, and we'll get the season underway. But I think the main point is you got to be ready for everything. You got to be flexible, adaptive, and no matter what happens, just roll with the punches. But that's life. You never really know what's going to happen in life. If you got everything planned out, you're probably doing something wrong. So I'm excited to, I think we're going to wing it this year and see what happens.
Now, Colin, we have 12 questions for you. Again, you can probably figure out why we chose 12. Kind of symbolic for you. Kind of rapid fire, whatever. I don't know how you want to call them. It's basically 21 questions, but 12.
Gotcha.
So some one-word answers, some you can be elaborate if you'd like. Colin, we're going to start off with, what's your favorite thing to do in your spare time?
A little bit of spare time. I like to cook. A lot of spare time. I like to hunt and fish.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of things are you hunting?
I love the deer hunt. Love the dove hunt. Pigs. Really anything in South Texas, okay. I'm game for. So,
Cullen, you mentioned that you're single. So for any celebrities watching right now, who's your celebrity crush?
Ashley Frangipani. I don't even know if I said that right, but otherwise known as Halsey.
Beautiful voice.
Yeah, just beautiful woman on the inside and out. Call me if you're out there listening. I actually already told this to 110,000 in Kyle Field, but I am in love with you. So,
this is an ongoing thing.
Yeah, they put this on the big screen. You haven't responded to any of my tweets. It's cool. It's not a problem. I understand you've got bigger and better things going on, but I'm here.
I love it.
I didn't break eye contact with the camera. Just, I love you.
This could be a
that was creepy. Okay.
This could be the true Romeo and Juliet kind of story,
More
She's
like
on her balcony and we're down there.
It's more like a I'm trying to think of a movie character that just like never like gets the girl.
What would be a good character?
Like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. Just like got like a rain cloud over me at all times. You can change that, Halsey.
Yeah. Cullen, what would you say is your favorite social media? I know you're big on Twitter. I know you have a pretty good, you dress pretty well, so your Instagram looks good. What's your preferred social media platform?
I'd probably say it's Instagram, but recently I just got on TikTok, and no one can follow me. TikTok's for me, so I don't post anything on there either. But I don't know. TikTok's awesome. I thought it was, I thought it was just gonna be like a bunch of like young like middle schoolers doing dances, and then I was like, whoa. There's like a whole nother world. I've done like 6 like recipes off TikTok. Like I said, I love the cooking stuff. So like my whole feed's kind of like cooking stuff, like satisfying videos, and then like fishing stuff. So cool. It's it's Instagram's probably number 1, but TikTok has gone like this and then like straight up. Okay. So that's where I'm at on that.
Cullen, what would you say is your biggest pet peeve?
Chewed gum. Chewing gum's cool. Like you can chew gum, that's great. I chew gum, chew it, spit it out, like do your thing. But like if I'm sitting there and someone's like, eating dinner and then like they like put the gum on their plate, like let it sit there, or like they have it on like the top of a Coke can, or like they're playing with it, like it I can't
strange.
It just freaks me out. I can't do it. And like my dad does it. And I'm just like, Dad. Like I will literally get this Coke and throw it out the window. I mean, I won't. I'm not illiterate. That was the wrong way, but like the wrong way to put that.
Expression.
I mean, it was an expression, but like my friends know it, and they'll try and mess with me about it. And like you can mess with me about a lot of stuff, but if we're like wrestling or just like doing whatever, and they pulled the chew gum, I literally will look at them and say, I will punch you. Like in the face, I will hit you hard. That's the one thing that like don't mess with me about. I will hit you hard, and I will not feel bad about it because I'm very passionate right now. I'm already like getting heated. If you do this, I will hit you. I will hit you.
Cullen, did that stem from some 7th grade detention where you're scraping gum on her desk? I mean,
that is the worst.
Where did this manifest?
Oh my!
Was that?
If you sit down and you put your hand on a chair under a desk and you touch it, it's just so inconsiderate. It's just, I will literally have to get up and go wash my hands. I can't deal with it. I cannot deal with it. I've never stuck gum on the bottom of a desk or bottom of a chair, and I just don't understand why you would do that.
That's pure evil, honestly.
Get it? Spit it out in the trash can. That's great. Wonderful. I love you. Great. Don't put it around me.
And you don't even have to keep the gum wrapper itself. It could be a tissue. It can be just spit it into the garbage can directly. And there's so many ways that you can dispose of it.
I will fight you.
I'm very glad I asked that question because I would have never expected to have such a zealous response.
I can't do it.
Okay.
I can't do it.
Well, interestingly, the next question, Cullen, was grossest thing you've seen in a locker room or worst injury you've seen on the field. We've already talked about some gross things, but let's specify that to the worst injury you've seen in all your years of football.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about gross things in the locker room because when you get 100 guys in the locker room, there's some
sights and some smells, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just not even gonna get into that. But one of my buddies in college, it was our sophomore year, he dislocated his elbow. So like we were on the practice field. It was like a freak injury, like something like this doesn't happen normally, but he'd gone in and like his arm had got caught and his arm was like facing the other way.
In a block, or was he tapped?
I don't remember exactly how. I mean, it was 6-7 years ago, but I actually remember the side of like his arm facing the other way, and sure enough, they popped it. He went to the hospital because if your arm's facing that way, you're gonna go to the hospital.
Looked at.
Correct, but they popped it back in, and he was out there practicing within a week. So like, it wasn't.
Guy.
Yeah, but that's football. You can't play. You're not really worth anything, and if you're chasing the dream to be an NFL player, like time is money. Being on the field is money. So you gotta make the most of it. But I think every football player plays through pain, through hopefully not injury, but by the end of the NFL season, no one's healthy.
Cullen, what is one thing that people would be surprised to know about you? Would it be an interest of yours or certain passion or something that you're obviously you studied
geoscience, environmental geosciences. So we've already discussed that, but what's something else that would surprise people? In like the past year, I've really started to get into like photography and art, even though I I got a camera for Christmas, and I did like go out of my way. I took a photography class. My camera didn't have a memory card in it, so I kind of just took pictures and they went away. I didn't retain any of the information. But I would say that's kind of surprising. People are like, oh, you want to go take, and I don't want to like take pictures of people. I want to take pictures of like trees and flowers and like nature,
Like
which I don't think that's what people expect.
what is your favorite condiment or sauce? This is my personal favorite question for today. So
Condiment or sauce? I'm a big sauce guy. Like I like sauce on everything.
Sauce makes everything better.
Correct. I mean, you really can't beat Whataburger ketchup. I love Whataburger ketchup.
Spicy or OG ketchup?
So I love spicy food. I like spicy things, but I think the regular ketchup is better. I think the flavor is better. I don't dislike the spicy ketchup. I just prefer the regular ketchup. That's unbeaten. Cane sauce.
Yep.
Cane sauce is unreal. And then just more generic. You throw mustard on just about everything. I love mustard. So
if you weren't drafted, what would you be doing now professionally?
My junior year, I mean, I'd done a couple internships. I'd been on like a walk and talk with Waste Management and spent a day out in the field with them. I worked for another geology firm and kind of worked at landfills doing environmental site assessments and like water testing across Texas. Wow. But to be honest with you, my junior year, kind of I guess my senior year, when I was getting ready to graduate, when most people are making their resumes, sending out job offers, I just finished my fourth year. Coach Fisher just got here. It's January. I saw a spring ball and then a season to do. And so that's when you should be applying for jobs, trying to find internships. And basically my parents were on me. They were telling me, you need to make a resume, you need to start looking for jobs. And I basically told my parents, I said, no, I'm not going to do that, because one, I wasn't too worried about getting a job. I figured, I've done enough. I have a degree. I can go and I'll figure it out. But right now my focus is football, and I don't want to have a backup plan.
Yep.
I need that to motivate me. If I say, oh, well, I've got this job offer from this company and if football doesn't work out, then I'll just go do that. And I didn't want that fallback plan, because I need that motivation. If I've got a fallback plan, more than likely
you're gonna need it.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go to. So I told my parents, I said, look, I'm going to pursue a career in football. I'm gonna put all my eggs in this basket, and if it doesn't work out, I'll figure it out later.
Colin, what's the best advice you've been given?
We got to hear Kobe Bryant speak about in training camp. So I say 6 months before he died, and he came out and he spoke to the entire team, and he really kind of talked about, like his Mamba mentality. I mean, he was just on a whole nother level with, I don't think really anyone has it. I think that people strive to get there. I strive to do that, but I think I have a little more free time than he did. But he kind of spoke about it all came back to love. Everything that you do should be about love. So if you don't love something, don't do it. And if you love the game of football, then you need to put everything that you have into it. So that kind of changed my perspective of, yes, it did turn into a job, but do I love this job? And if I don't love this job, then why am I doing it? Why am I wasting my time? Life's too short to not, experience everything and live it to the fullest. So I kind of fell in love with the game after hearing that. And every decision that I make on or off the field affects my career. Everything I eat, everything I drink, everything I do physically, everything I do mentally, it all affects football, because that is what my life is right now. My life is football. So really just loving what you do. And so that I kind of took that to heart. And it's really changed me in all aspects of life too, in terms of the way I treat my friends, my family, how I spend my free time.
All right, Colin, so if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
I actually had this conversation with someone the other day, and I said mind reading, but then the more I thought about it, I was like,
dangerous, man.
Yeah, that's horrible, and that's just such an invasion of privacy. So I'm not going to say that. I think teleporting. I think teleporting is I think my friends and I talk about it the most, is driving back from a trip to Austin or Galveston or San Antonio or Dallas, wherever you went. It's like, why do I have to drive? Like it's 2020. Have we not invented a way to teleport yet? I mean, you'd be able to maximize all the time you spend traveling and doing all these other things. I mean, you'd really be able to maximize your time with teleporting. Like sleep, okay, you get that extra hour of sleep. You wake up, you get ready, snap your fingers, you're at work.
Cullen, favorite music artist or top 3? So if you don't have one particular favorite band, musician, artist, give us 2 or 3. Who's on your Mount Rushmore, maybe?
Okay, so I'll give you a Mount Rushmore. For rap, I'd say it's J. Cole. R&B rap. I think J. Cole's one of my favorite artists. I mean, Drake's up there too. I mean, that's the same genre. But then if you go to like, there's so many. If I go to country music, I think that Parker McCollum, Co Wetzel, Tyler Childers. I mean, the list goes on. Turnpike Troubadours. I wish they were still together. I can't pick one. I love them all. I love.
So you
music,
listen to everything. From
I listen to a wide variety, everything across the board. I don't really have a opinion on that big of an opinion on music. If it sounds good, it's for me.
What is one message you'd give to your fans, whether they're A&M Aggies or whether they're Texans or just other people in the Houston community? What would you say to everyone watching today?
Sign up for Energy Ogre and use promo code Gilly, because if you do, I get paid, and I like getting paid. So
Gilly. Gilly.
That's Gilly, Gilly. No, some people I get sometimes that like, I kind of saw you at this thing, but I didn't really want to come up and say hi to you. Like I was nervous or I didn't want to bother you. I think if you ever see me out in public and you want to come say hello, like definitely don't be afraid. I promise I don't bite. I'm always looking to have a conversation and meet new people.
I initially thought the conversation would be maybe 20, 30 minutes. Cullen, we're probably going on what seems to be over an hour plus.
Good.
So thanks for your time today, man. It's been a pleasure. We're definitely appreciative of you guys watching. That does it for today's episode of Say What?
Say what?
He does it better than me. Again, Stuart Perkle, Cullen Gillaspia. It's been fun. We'll see you next time.